Hey y'all, Matt Fouch here on the couch with Fouch, and one of the sponsors of today's interview video is Christian Healthcare Ministries. Now, just a few years ago when my family got the notification in the mail from Blue Cross and Blue Shield that our premium was going to at least double, we knew we had to make a change. So we started looking at other opportunities. One of the things we came across was Christian Healthcare Ministries. Now, this organization is a great alternative to health insurance. We found out that we could save a ton of money by switching, and in reality, we actually had better coverage options with this organization. So call them today, 800-791-6225, and tell them that Matt Fouch and the On the Couch with Fouch interview series sent you to get the information so that they will continue to support Southern gospel music and this interview series that you love to watch. Call them today, 800-791-6225, and tell them that Matt Fouch sent you. Guys, have a great day and enjoy the interview. Hey y'all, welcome to On the Couch with Fouch. My name is Matt Fouch. I'm the host of this interview series, and what we have here is the Spotlight series. Now, this is a series where I get the great opportunity of introducing you all to maybe some artists you're not familiar with, or maybe you are familiar with them, but you get to know them a little more personally. Maybe you've heard them at an event, you just maybe heard them sing one song. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, I want to introduce you guys today to the Chitans. And I'm thrilled to have you all with me. Now, okay, before we started the interview, we were getting names and everything. Now, I made it very easy for them. I said, my name is Matt. Very, just plain and simple, Matt. And they gave me their names. Now, I want you to pronounce it for the folks watching, your names, before we get going to any of the questions. Let the folks know what y'all's names are.
Okay. My name is Kezia. And my name's Kayandra. Okay,
so we have Kayandra and Kezia. And I probably said that, how many times do you think I said that before we started? I was sitting here, I was just repeating the names over and over, probably 10 times, and I still feel like I'm going to get it wrong at some point. But I'm thrilled to have you guys with me today. Thank you for doing this. And we are at the National Quartet Convention here in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Is this your guys' first time at NQC?
This would be our second time.
Right. Were you here last year then, I'm assuming?
Yes, we were here last year.
So with it being your second time at NQC, last year being the first, what's the first thing that popped in your mind last year when you walked in the doors?
I don't know. I think it's kind of like, you know, when you read fairy tale books and all the characters and you know you grow to love them and stuff like that. Yeah. And then you just walk in here and you see all these people passing like, oh my gosh, and it's like, it's like seeing them pop out of a fairy tale book.
Right. But one of the main things that several of the people was asking, they wanted to know how your family got started as a music ministry and out on the road traveling and singing.
Okay, well, before we started as a group, I was the one singing, and our pastor encouraged my parents to let me do a CD, not for selling purposes, but just so that I would have something that would be like a milestone so I could see where I was at 10 years old. So the first time we had ever sung together was 2 years prior for my grandmother's surprise birthday party. And we were putting on the concert and we're just like, you know, let's try this again and see if we can sing together. And like people usually ask us, like, how did you know you could harmonize and stuff like that? Well, it started out in family worship time. So like in the morning and the evening we would worship, and mom and dad would teach us all these songs and harmony, and we'd listen to them sing and watch old videos of them singing when they were younger. And we sang that year, and probably about 2 years after that concert, that's when our ministry really started, like singing in different churches.
How many siblings do you guys have that sing with you?
5 siblings. That's it.
So 5 total, and then mom and dad.
Yes.
So what do you guys travel in?
Currently, we travel in a GMC Savannah conversion van.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And it has 7 seats, I'm assuming?
9 seats.
9 seats. Okay, so there's a couple extra. That's good. And a trailer, I'm sure, for clothing and sound equipment and everything. I mean, is this the dream for you guys? I mean, I'll say for me, when I first walked into NQC, I didn't know that there was a whole industry out there. It wasn't necessarily a dream of mine, but I enjoyed singing. And now I've been 14 years singing, and I love it. Is this the dream, to travel around and sing at churches and minister to people through song and share your testimony and stuff like that?
I think I would say, like, maybe now it is.
Yeah.
At first, it wasn't anything that was on our radar. We were never planning to go all over the place and sing. We were just planning to live a normal life.
Yeah.
And it was just something that God, had to, I want to say, show us. But we were going places, and every time we'd come home, we'd go for just a weekend, and we'd say, okay, but now we're going to live a normal life. It's like my dad would tell my mom, I think God is telling us to go into full-time ministry. And I believe now, we're, well, not seeing, but, it's now coming into perspective, all that God is trying to do for us.
Yeah. It's amazing. I was in college when I started singing, and I was working a part-time job and going to school full-time, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it for fun. And then now 14 years later, I'm still singing here. I'm still here. You can't get rid of me. So it's same thing. Wasn't on my radar. So I think there's many people like that as well. Joseph Smith submitted a question for you guys. Joseph, thank you for your question. And he would like to know, where are you guys from?
Okay.
So how did you, where are you from? How'd you get here? Type of deal.
Okay, well, our parents are originally from Grenada, but most of the kids, except for one, we were born in Canada. One of our brothers were born in New York. So there's a bunch of Canadians and one American.
He feels left out, I'm sure.
Oh, no, he's a proud American.
Okay. So do you all still live in Canada, or do you live in the U.S.? Or you just live in the van?
We live in the van. We sold our house in March, and currently we are living nowhere, but we are thinking of moving to the States.
Okay, so hotels, and we're at friends' houses
Yes.
and family and stuff like that as you travel around and sing. Gotcha. I heard there was a couple folks that put in the comments that they heard you guys at Gaither Family Fest. I think it was fairly recently, maybe. How did that come about, where these people actually heard you at Gaither Family Fest? I've never sang at Gaither Family Fest. And so I was like, that's cool that they were singing there. So how did that happen?
Well, a couple years ago, Linda Randall came to Toronto to do a concert. And we met her, and we talked in passing when she was doing her sound check, and then we had a real conversation with her after the whole concert was done. And we met her a year later, and we didn't think she would remember us, and she was on stage, and she said, "It's so good to see the Titans in the house."
The Titans?
Yes, she said it as a joke, but she really knew our name was the Chitans, and we were just surprised. And she asked if she could be our part-time manager, help us in our ministry. And one of the things she helped us with was going to Gaither's Fall Fest, and she would let us sing with her, and we did that for about 3 years in a row. 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's probably helping out a lot with introducing you to more people as you're going and singing there every year. And so have you sat down with Bill and Gloria and gotten to know them any while you're there?
Well, it's kind of funny. Many years before any of this happened, we grew up listening to the Gaithers and stuff like that, and my parents loved them. And one time we were on a road trip, and Daddy said, Indiana's not too far, you guys want to pass and see them. So they got the address, and we went to the resource center, but the van was giving trouble, and we got there really late, and we said, well, we're here, doesn't make sense, just leaving and going.
Yeah.
We could spend the night. So we slept in the van that night.
At the resource center parking lot?
Yeah.
Oh.
And when in the morning, we got ready, we brushed our teeth in the van and stuff like that, and we went inside, and the people in the resource center, they're like, "Are you the people that slept in the van?"
Now, I have heard of groups, we sleep in the Walmart parking lot all the time, but I've never heard of the Gaither Resource Center. That's the new place.
Yeah, so we were like, yeah, outside. And so somebody found Gloria and told her that we slept in the parking lot.
Oh, wow.
And she came into the resource center and she met us, and she was just really sweet. And we told her like about how we ended up here and the van problems, stuff like that. And she was so kind. They allowed us to stay at, I believe it's Bill's grandfather's house until they got the van fixed. So she brought Daddy somewhere to get the van fixed.
Oh, wow.
And we got to spend the day there, and it was wonderful. And so after all that, we've seen her and Mr. Gaither at Fall Fest a couple of times. We've spoken to them a couple of times, and actually, when we were recording our CD that Randall helped to produce, he came into the studio while we were recording.
Did he critique it any? Or was he just observing, or did he throw out some?
He just observed.
Okay.
Oh, and he did. Our brothers, they had long ponytails that they were growing for children with cancer. And so he and Auntie Linda, they cut their hair, like did the ceremonial cut for their hair.
Cool.
Yeah, that was really
That's pretty
awesome.
neat. We have a new place to park the bus now. The Gaither Resource Center. Now, I grew up only about 45 minutes from Alexandria. But I'll be honest, I've never been over there for anything. I need to go sometime for sure. It's just one of those things that I didn't really even know. I'd heard the music, I had heard of the Gaithers, but it just wasn't on my radar that they were 45 minutes away to go over there and say, hey, how you guys doing? Here's a fun question from Debbie Sandling. Thank you for your question, Debbie. Where is y'all's favorite place to eat?
Eat.
See, you guys travel in Canada, the U.S.
That's kind of hard.
Yeah.
That's really hard.
So y'all get done with a night of singing, and you're just famished, and you're like, oh, we're so hungry. Let's stop at...
I wouldn't say Golden Corral, maybe. I guess that's because our adopted grandparents took us there a lot. That was like kind of like our ritual, kind of. Whenever we get to see them, they would take us to Golden Corral.
Well, y'all like the buffet style, right?
We pretty much go there just for the cotton candy.
The cotton candy. I've never heard anybody say that. You know what? I'm really digging some cotton candy today. I'm going to Golden Corral. What is the heartbeat of the Chitans ministry? What drives you guys? Like you said, you're new relatively in all of this. This is unexpected. Mm-hmm. So what drives the Chitans to continue doing what you all do?
I would say it's probably to get other young people motivated to do stuff for God. Like that's one of the things we really want to see is like other young people like us just going out and doing what God wants them to do.
Yeah.
And you? I mean, you may echo the same thing.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. And also, we do a lot of street ministry, a lot of prison ministry. And, people often say the joy of the Lord is my strength. Mm-hmm. And when you really take that into perspective, the joy of the Lord, we are the joy of the Lord. And when the joy of the Lord, meaning the people that God has placed on this earth for you to minister to and for you to bring to Him, like that really is our strength. It's more about like ministering to other people and reminding them, you know what, God loves you. Yeah.
That's cool. And what do you find is, and this isn't a question submitted, but when you were talking about motivating young people to serve God and things, what do you find is one thing that really kind of penetrates their hearts when you're sharing from stage? What do you feel like motivates them? Because maybe there's someone watching that in their church they have a lack of youth being motivated to serve in their church, because whether it's in the community or it's in your church or whatever, most churches have a youth. They have some youth there, and getting them motivated, excited to start that process of serving. Is there anything that maybe you could give this person watching that says, yeah, we need our youth more motivated to serve? Is there anything you could give them to help them maybe pierce the heart of that youth person at their church to help them get involved? It's kind of a tough question. I'm sorry. I mean, is it when you share night in and night out? Is there a message you try to get across to those youth?
Pretty much, you can do anything through Christ. Like before, like as you said earlier, she was the only one singing. The other four of us, we had no musical ability whatsoever. It was bad.
Really?
It was really bad. And it took a lot for us to go on stage because we were really scared. But as we got used to it, we realized it takes God to keep you up there. So we can do anything through God.
Yeah.
And all the testimonies and stuff is just showing God is there, God is helping you. So
Yeah.
that would be what I'll tell you. Just trust God, He can do anything you need.
As a kid, my church we did a lot of gospel music for church music. We would do a youth choir, and then on occasion we would do a youth Sunday night service where the youth did the whole service. And I think that was one of the instrumental things for me growing up to say, hey, it doesn't matter your age. If you have a message and you can share that message, then there are people in your sphere of influence, whether you're in school, whether you're at work, whether you're at the retirement center, it doesn't matter what stage of life you're on. There are people that don't know Christ, and you have people in your world that you can share with personally and create relationships with. And so regardless of your age, like you're saying, you can share Christ in a very easy way and help reach people for sure. Now, this is the part of the program that I love to do. I love all of it, but this is the fun part for me, okay? In the past, I've done a thing called the Fouch zone, but I'm not going to do that, okay? Because I don't want to freak anybody out, right? So what I want to do is I just want to do these are very simple, very easy, but it's kind of putting you on the spot a little bit, okay? This is going to be a little thing called this or that, okay? So you're going to have two options.
Okay.
All right, are you ready? And both of y'all, I want both of y'all to answer these.
Right.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Wow, that was very adamant there. Ice cream or snow cone?
Snow cone.
Ooh, I think snow cone.
Really?
Yes.
What flavor?
Ooh.
Lemon lime.
I think, yeah, cherry and lemon. Yeah.
Cherry lemon, okay. Cake or pie?
Cake.
Wow, okay. And
It's apple.
the pool or the beach?
Beach.
Beach, definitely beach.
Okay. I mean, that was pretty. You can tell y'all are related. You got a lot of the same things going on here. We're done with the questions, but I want you all to stick around because here in just a moment they are going to sing an a cappella piece for you all. Guys, this is the Chitans, and tell the folks watching where they can catch up with you guys, website, social media, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, you guys can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, Google+. Everything is the Chitans. Our website is www.thechitans.com.
Go check them out. If you're a church promoter, whatever, give them a call. If they fit anything that you have coming up, give them a call, send them an email. They'd love to come and minister to your congregation and the things you have going on. But right now, we're going to hear from the Chitans, and you're going to get to meet the rest of the siblings. This is going to be great, guys. Enjoy. Hey guys, this is the Chitans, and why don't you all go ahead and introduce yourselves, each one of you.
My name is Kezia.
My name's Kayandra.
My name is Jesse. My name is Jaden.
My name's Carolina.
And I think they just went from the oldest to the youngest. Is that how y'all did it? Is that how you do it every time?
Yeah.
It's like that's the plan? That's cool. Hey guys, enjoy the Chitans and this beautiful song.
The disciples were afraid as Jesus slept below. A mighty big storm rocked that little bitty boat. It seemed all hope was gone and they were gonna die. But Jesus spoke peace and the sun began to shine. I don't know about you, but I have seen despair. I've been down and out, felt like nobody cared. But Jesus brought joy to my troubled soul, and that's good, so good to know. Well, that's good, so good, so good to know that Jesus is alive and He's in control. He's the Alpha, Omega, beginning and the end. He's closer than a brother, more than a friend. When my fears assail and my doubts arise, He has a way of showing up right on time, reminding me He's with me everywhere I go, and that's good, so good to know. Brother Lazarus is dead, And had you come in time, Martha said to Jesus, I know he would be alive. And after Jesus wept, Lazarus heard him say, come forth. Their hearts were so amazed when he stood before the Lord. The one who calmed the sea and the one who raised the dead is able to deliver me and you just like he said. And he will bring your joy to your troubled soul. And that's good, so good to know. Well, that's good, so good to know that Jesus is alive and he's in control. He's the Alpha, Omega, beginning and the end. He's closer than a brother, more than a friend. When my fears assail and my doubts arise, he has a way of showing up right on time, reminding me he's with me everywhere I go. And that's good, so good to know. Reminding me he's with me everywhere I